So, good morning, everybody. Let's take a look to Language Checkpoint Unit 8, So Grammar Unit 8. In this unit, we are going to study all about reported speech. A reported speech means that when somebody says something and then I take this sentence and I report it to you. I tell you what somebody else was saying or said in the past. The first rule is about statements, and we have all this here. We're going to take a look at it. Normally in reported speech we use say and tell, okay? And when the reporting verb is in the past, the tense of the verb in reported speech usually changes, going one tense back. What means one tense back? Right, let's check. If in the direct speech my tense was present simple, like here, I walk home, when I report this sentence, I said she walked home, so I have to switch to a past simple. So my present simple is becoming a past simple. There is only one exception for this. If the situation in the direct speech is still going on, so it means that it was true in the past, it's true in the present, and it will be true in the future, then you can stay with your present simple. Let's give you an example. If I say I love chocolate. That's a direct speech. I love chocolate. In my reported speech, I will say Marie-France said she loves chocolate. Why? Because I loved chocolate in the past, I loved chocolate now, and I will love chocolate in the future. Okay? But if it's not that case, then your present simple becomes a past simple. Right, what happens if in my direct speech I have a present continuous, I am walking? My present simple is becoming a past continuous, so instead of is, are or I we use was. She said she was walking. If I have a present perfect, I have walked, then it becomes a past perfect. Instead of have, I will have had. If I had a past simple, I switch to a past perfect. And if I had a past perfect, it stays the same. I still have a past perfect. So as you can see, I use a lot the past perfect in a reported speech in 3 different situations. If I had a present perfect, a past simple, or a past perfect. Okay? In the future, if I had a will, it becomes would. I will walk. She said she would walk. I can walk. It becomes could. She said she could walk. I may walk. It becomes might. And if you have must or have to, it switches to had to. Why? Because must doesn't exist, right? In the past, I always have to use had to in this situation. Right. If here instead of will I have would, it stays woulds. If here I had could, it stays could. If I had should, it stays should. And if I had might, it stays might. So could, would, should, and might do not change, okay? But in reported speech, pronouns and possessive adjectives change. Let's see an example. I watched your concert. Joe said he had watched my concert. So 2 things changed here. The first thing, the verb. I had a past simple, watched. It becomes a past perfect, had watched, here. I had your, and it becomes my, logically. Okay? If you use say, you don't need to use a personal object after the verb to say who you are saying something. She said, you don't need to you or to her or to whatever, wherever, I don't know. Okay? It doesn't matter. You don't use it. You say directly she said she, right? But if you use tell, you must use a personal object. For instance, she told Jamie, she told him, right? Okay, let's take a look to the questions now. When we ask a question with a reported speech, we don't use do, okay? In a question, you don't need do. Do you like art? Becomes she asked me if I liked art and not if I did like. I liked, stay in past simple. I don't use I did like. That's the first thing, okay? And then instead of tell or say, you use ask. Logically, it is a question. There is no inversion of subject and verb in reported questions. Where is the exhibition? There is an inversion. The verb comes before the subject. He asked me where the exhibition was, not where was the exhibition. So it stays like in a statement, right? Your verb goes after the subject. Reported questions are not real questions, so you don't need question marks. You don't put a question mark, okay? When there is no question word, like who, what, how, why, we words that we say, instead of these little words, we are going to use if or whether. Whether is a synonym of if, but it's a little bit more formal. Are you listening? She asked me if or whether I was listening. Okay? No question marks. Right? You see that. Okay. So, instead of who, what, how, why, I use if or whether. If I don't have these little words, I use if and whether. And if I have we word, like here, where is the exhibition, I stay with it in the reported speech. He asked me where, okay? But I put my verb in the end. Right, let's take a look to comments or orders. So, stand up is an imperative, right? In the reported speech, she told me, or she told them, to stand up. So, I put a to in front of the verb. If it's a negative command, so a negative imperative, don't write on the table, prohibition. They told him not to, so in front of the to I have to put a not. Be careful with this. A very common mistake is to put to and then not. Never this, guys. Okay? Always not in front of the to. Okay, let's see this special one, because here it's not exactly an order or a command. It is, but a very polite one, because you have please just in front, right? Please write your name here, instead of write your name here. So, let's see what's the difference with the ones before. Instead of tell, I'm going to use ask, because I am polite and I am asking for something. Then the rest of the sentence stays the same. To write my name here. Okay? If I want to say no, imagine that here I have please don't write your name here. It will be he asked me not to write my name there. There is a little difference here. Instead of here, in my reported speech, I'm going to have there. This is very common. We have little words like this kind of words change actually in the reported speech. Here becomes there. Alright? And then for reported commands we use to plus infinitive or not to plus infinitive. That's what I told you here. If necessary, we change pronouns and other words in the same way as in the reported statements. Do you remember here? I watched your concert. Joe said he had watched my concert. I switched your to my. Here's the same. Watch your concert command. Okay? Joe told me to watch my concert. Okay? And then we use told to report stronger commands and asked for more polite requests, as I told you here. Alright, So I think it is more or less clear. If I have to sum up all this, I see that my tenses and statements are going one tense back. Okay? Back in the past, it means. In questions, I'm not going to use question marks, and I am not going to do inversions, right? And I'm not going to use do. And when it comes to orders or commands, right, I use to or not to, and instead of say, I use tell. And if it's a formal or polite command with a please in the direct speech, then I use ask. Okay, right guys, bye bye.